Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm your host, Winnie.
And I am Mike, and we are here today to talk about chocolate. In fact, a tale of 3 chocolates is what we're going to be looking at over the next couple of days. Now, we're not talking about 3 individual chocolates, one for you, one for me, and I'll save one for my friend. No, we're talking about 3 types or kinds of chocolate. Now, when I explain it that way, you guys can probably imagine which 3 kinds of chocolates, because yeah, if you go to a store and buy some chocolate, it'll generally be in one of these 3 types, categories or kinds of chocolate. Of course, we're speaking of dark chocolate, which is very popular and kind of healthy, people think. Milk chocolate, which is probably the most common. And you think of, you know, Halloween candy and that kind of stuff. That's mostly milk chocolate. And then, of course, white chocolate. They didn't have a lot of white chocolate when I was a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't remember getting that for Halloween. But later on, they did. And I kind of liked white chocolate for a while, but I was thinking about this earlier when I haven't had white chocolate in a long time.
I think I'm right there with you.
I don't know why. Is it less popular now because it was new before? I don't know. Or maybe it's just me, you know, because sometimes you like certain kinds.
Yeah, like to me, white chocolate feels even more dessert-y.
Okay.
If that makes sense, because it's like, I guess, creamier.
I guess, yeah, it's milkier, creamier.
Yeah, it's more indulgent.
I don't know if I've ever had it in a dessert, though. I think I've only had it in like a chocolate bar from a store.
Really? Okay.
I think so.
Well, would you call yourself a chocolate connoisseur?
I like a little bit of chocolate once in a while.
Okay.
You know, I'm the kind of person sometimes be like, I want some chocolate. But I'm not kind of every day I have to have chocolate. I'm not that kind of guy. Yeah. And when it comes to dessert, yeah, I might pick chocolate cake, but I might also pick apple pie. It depends on my mood.
Got it.
Certainly not a chocoholic.
Okay. Well, depending on you guys at home, what you guys feel, maybe today's article will kind of change your mind a little bit.
Okay, and we're going to learn a lot of good stuff about dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, how they're different, and actually some of the benefits you can get from trying and having each of these 3 kinds.
I like that.
So chocolate and science. Let's get to it.
Whether dark, milk, or white, chocolate in all its many varieties is enjoyed around the world. But have you ever wondered what differences really exist between these types? The short answer lies in the ingredients. The ingredients can change the taste and appearance of chocolate. They can even have different effects on your body. Starting with the type with the lowest cocoa content, white chocolate contains cocoa butter, but no cocoa solids. The lack of cocoa solids is what gives the chocolate its white color, and the butter gives it a creamy texture. White chocolate usually has a combination of vanilla, sugar, milk, and a few other ingredients.
All right, welcome to today's article. It is a tale of 3 chocolates, day 1.
All right, so let's get into it, and we begin with our 3 chocolates. Whether dark, milk, or white, chocolate in all its many varieties is enjoyed around the world. Yeah, probably one of those foods that you could give to little kids and old people. Everyone kind of likes it. I don't think there are many people. Some people like different kinds of chocolate, but I can't think of anyone who says, I don't like all kinds of chocolate. And it is enjoyed around the world. Some people have it to drink in the morning, right? Some places they have hot chocolate instead of coffee or tea. And of course, chocolatey desserts and snacks are popular with everyone generally around the world. But here's a good question. But have you ever wondered what differences really exist between these types? Because if you've had these different types, or types of chocolate, of course, you will definitely notice, yes, that they are very different, right? There's a lot of big differences between them. And this is quite a variety of chocolates and a variety of flavors and tastes when we enjoy it. What is a variety? It's basically a wide range of choices or many kinds of something, right? A lot of us love to go to certain restaurants because they have a variety of food, or maybe a certain city has a variety of restaurants. They have Chinese food, Korean food, Japanese food, Indian food, Ethiopian food, whatever it is. It's a wide range of choices, lots of options, lots of different things of a similar type. For example, there are many varieties of fish in this lake.
Oh.
There's trout and perch and bass and all sorts of other things.
Okay, well, just like fish in the lake, we have a variety of chocolates.
All right.
And I love that. So, continuing on, the short answer, meaning the answer to the question we just asked, the short answer lies in the ingredients.
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense. The ingredients can change the taste and appearance of chocolate. They can even have different effects on your body.
Wow, that's interesting.
So it's kind of like medicine in that way. So by
Yes.
right, if I want to be healthier, I should just eat a lot of chocolate.
You need to take more medicine. Exactly right. Here's a giant chocolate Easter bunny for you.
Oh.
Eat it from the head to the toes, though. That's the way the doctor wants you to eat it.
Is this doctor by chance Willy Wonka?
Dr. Chalk.
Doc Chalk.
Doc Chalk, that's my personal doctor. And he gives out one type of medicine and it's always chocolate.
Always chocolate.
Actually, 3 types of medicine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, you know who is not a doctor, but
Who is that?
We still love her.
We do.
It's Hanny.
Oh yeah, is it real Hanny or chocolate Hanny?
Oh no. I don't know. Let's go check on her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not chocolate because she might melt
She might
under
melt.
these lights.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课程是要介绍黑巧克力、牛奶巧克力、白巧克力这3种巧克力的差异。简单来说，它们就是差在成分不同。那么单字 variety 这个名词表示种类、品种或者是变化、多样化。单字例句提到不同种类的鱼，这时 Mike 老师说的 trout 是鳟鱼。perch 鲈鱼或河鲈，还有 bass 它表示鲈鱼。那我们接回到课文中。
Thank you so much, Hanny. Whew, she's real.
She's just real.
She
That
wasn't
was
chocolate.
not chocolate Hanny. That was living, breathing, living flesh Hanny.
Yeah,
yes.
thank goodness.
Good. All right, so let's get to the chocolates. Right, we have 3 types of chocolates. Let's talk about them and the differences. Of course, this is what makes them different. It says starting with the type with the lowest cocoa content, white chocolate contains cocoa butter, but no cocoa solids.
Okay, so
That's
it's
interesting.
white chocolate, but not really chocolate. It's like white chocolate butter.
Yeah, it's like half chocolate. It's
Yeah.
kind of dipping its toe in the chocolate pool,
Right.
but it has no cocoa solids and it has the lowest cocoa content. That also tells us that the cocoa is what makes it brown, what gives it the
Exactly.
darker color. So with no cocoa solids and only cocoa butter, so I guess that's butter, they kind of cook it with cocoa, give
Yeah.
it some of that, a little bit of cocoa flavor, but not a lot of cocoa content, and that's what makes it white. And a lot of people say it's much sweeter,
Yes.
right? They don't like it because they don't
Yeah.
like sweet dessert, so they might prefer dark chocolate.
Yeah.
But there we go. So that's what makes white chocolate.
Right, exactly. So the lack of cocoa solids, so the contents of the white chocolate itself doesn't have much cocoa solids. What is the content? Okay, that means the amount of something contained in something else. In this case, our white chocolate has 0 cocoa solids. Okay. So, for example, you could say check the fat content on the label. So usually when you're trying to lose weight or maybe get in better shape, the first thing you might do is start with your diet. And that means checking the labels and making sure that the fat content isn't too high.
That's exactly right. Low fat content, low salt and sugar content, high nutrition, vitamin content. That would generally mean healthier food.
Right. Going back to chocolate, as you were saying, actually, we're talking about what makes white chocolate kind of taste the way it does and maybe why some people don't like it.
Okay.
Okay, continuing on with the article, the lack of cocoa solids is what gives the chocolate its white color, and the butter gives it a creamy texture. So, in all fairness, I could see how people might not gravitate towards white chocolate because it can be quite rich, quite
yes.
buttery, and
Right.
that might be a little overwhelming.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe a small amount would be nice.
yeah.
But having a whole big chocolate bar might be a lot. But they also add some other things in there that give white chocolate its very special, unique flavor. It's not just because it has less cocoa.
Right.
It also has other things. It says white chocolate usually has a combination of vanilla, sugar, milk, and a few other ingredients. I'm not sure it has to have vanilla, but that's probably what makes it kind of taste or makes our brain think, oh, it's kind of like vanilla ice cream,
Yeah.
right? Because of course, vanilla is the flavoring in that ice cream. It's also a bean that grows on a bush or on a vine, but they put in vanilla flavor, sugar, milk, along with the cocoa butter, giving it that creamy feel feel in your mouth, and a few other ingredients. So there you go. So if you like it, that's great, but it does have things that you don't find in other types of chocolate.
I guess that's what makes white chocolate such a great sort of base for if you want to make other things pop, like a little raspberry or a strawberry.
That's true. That's true. Put some kind of sour fruits in with it.
Yeah,
and it could balance very nicely. Not a bad idea.
You know who balances nicely?
Who's that?
Hanny.
She's a gymnast.
She is.
And a trapeze artist.
Yes.
And she can walk in a tightrope.
And she can make white chocolate.
And I think I saw her climbing Taipei 101 the other day.
That was her. Yeah,
cool.
not many people know that.
And she teaches too.
我又不是特技人员，怎么会走钢丝荡高空秋千，还爬101嘞？老师很爱乱讲。好，那我们来看看白巧克力含可可脂，可是它不含可可固形物。那正因为缺乏可可固形物，所以它是呈现白色的。单字 content 这个名词表示含量、内容或是内容物，它当含量、内容来解释时是不可数名词。Winnie 老师刚刚想说一句公道话，他可以理解为何有些人不爱白巧克力，它的味道可能有点太腻了，吃不消。那这时老师用到 in all fairness， 就是说句公道话，平心而论，还用到 gravitate 这个动词表示受到什么吸引，后面常常会接 toward 或是 to 再接人或事物，还有用到 overwhelming， 它可以形容强烈到令人难以承受的或是不知所措的。这边一个重点是 what 当复合关系代名词，它相当于 the thing that 或是 the things that， 或者是 the one that 或 the ones that。那么 what 引导的名词子句可以当主词、受词或补语，当主词的话要视为单数。例如 What I need is some peace and quiet。我需要的是片刻的安静。那名词子句 what I need 是当主词，要把它视为单数，所以我们后面搭配了单数动词 is。那我们接滑课文中。
All right, thank you so much, Hanny. Don't worry, you guys, if you want to learn a little bit more about chocolate. We're just going to take a little short break.
Aww.
But you can go and take a break off of that chocolate bar. I'm not going to say...
What kind?
Yeah.
Can we go buy it right now?
We could.
Okay, let's go get... Because it's research.
It's research.
Research.
Come on.
Go get some chocolate. Call it research.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Next, milk chocolate consists of at least 10% cocoa solids, as well as cocoa butter, sugar, and milk. Milk chocolate is popular for having the perfect level of sweetness, and it's the color we normally associate with chocolate. Finally, dark chocolate has many of the same ingredients as the other two types, but the biggest difference is the high cocoa solids concentration of over 35%. Unlike the other two types, it has little to no milk solids. The combination of high cocoa and low milk levels gives it a delightfully bitter taste and a rich color.
All right, welcome back from the break. Before the break, we learned that what makes white chocolate white is the lack of cocoa solids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
So white chocolate technically doesn't have chocolate.
Yeah, I'm not even sure we should call it chocolate because it
more like
doesn't
butter.
really have a lot of chocolate.
Yeah.
But yes, it is, based on cocoa butter, which of course comes from the cocoa bean, which is what we think of when we often think of one of the main things in chocolate. But you're right, it's pretty weak on the old cocoa stuff.
Yeah.
So let's move on the scale to something definitely much darker and much closer to what most people would instantly think of when I said a word like chocolate. You would think of milk chocolate. So let's get to that one. Next, milk chocolate consists of at least 10% cocoa solids, as well as cocoa butter, sugar, and milk.
Oh, so they have a specific percent.
Yeah, I think they have to measure it. Certain things you can call it chocolate, or you call it chocolate flavored if there isn't enough real cocoa stuff in there. So cocoa butter will still be in there, sugar is still in there, milk just like white chocolate. But of course we have more of these cocoa solids, these things that come from cocoa beans, 10%, and that is what milk chocolate consists of. When something consists of something, that is what it is made up of. All right, we take all of those things and we put them together and we have that. Your body consists consists of water and bones and blood and flesh and organs and all of that. So take all of those things, slap them together, and you have a person or an animal or something like that. So what about this? This video game consists of 9 levels, right? So it's kind of broken down into 9 levels. Books consist of chapters, plays consist of acts and scenes. You know, a journey to a new country might consist of traveling by taxi and train and airplane and then another taxi. That's what comes in to make up this bigger thing.
Okay, well, continuing on.
Yes.
Milk chocolate is popular for having the perfect level of sweetness. And it's the color we normally associate with chocolate. You know, when you're drawing a picture of what is your ideal meal, and you get to the dessert portion, and you're reaching into that 64-pack of Crayola, you're always grabbing the brown one.
Oh, I see. There you go. You're going to eat your...
Yeah.
No, don't do that. But that's actually a really good tip. If you find that your friend says, oh, I don't like milk chocolate, it's too sweet, it's good to know that white chocolate would definitely not be popular.
That's true.
Because, milk chocolate, as it says, is a perfect balance of bitter and sweet. And that's also probably why, I don't know, but 90% of the chocolate in the world that's sold is probably milk chocolate.
That's true. It's got a good balance.
It's the king.
Yeah, speaking of good balance, again, we've got trapeze artist Hanny, and she's going to teach us some things.
She's not the king, she's the queen of kings.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that means.
Or the queen of chocolate.
That too.
至于牛奶巧克力，它包含至少10%的可可固形物以及可可脂、糖还有乳制成分。单字 consist 它当动词表示由什么组成、包含点点点。那么 consist of 加上点点点是表达由什么什么所组成。注意它没有被动用法。这边有一个重点来看一下 as well as 的用法。首先它可以当介系词，那后面接名词或动名词，相当于 in addition to， 表达除了点点点之外还怎么样。例如 as well as being a chef, he's also a famous YouTuber。他除了是一名主厨，还是一位知名的 YouTuber。再来 as well as 可以当连接词，连接相同的词性的字词，表示说以及怎么样，还有什么什么。连接主词的时候，动词要搭配前面的名词。例如 Carrie is smart as well as beautiful。 Carrie 聪明又漂亮。那我们接回课文中。
Let's get back to it. We have one more type of chocolate to talk about. Finally, dark chocolate has many of the same ingredients as the other 2 types, but the biggest difference is the high cocoa solids concentration of over 35%.
Wow.
Which is quite a bit more than milk chocolate at 10%, and of course a lot more than white chocolate at, close to 0%. But as it says, it has many of the other ingredients, so milk and sugar and things like that, but a lot more cocoa in it, a higher cocoa solid concentration, in fact, over 35%. I mean, sometimes you can see them and they're like 60, 70, 85.
Yeah.
And that's quite bitter, right?
That is
it doesn't
quite
have
bitter.
very sweet, a lot of sweetness in it when there's that much cocoa in it.
Right.
But when we talk about the concentration of something, it's kind of like talking about a percentage, how much of something in a certain type of space or in a certain type of measurement, okay? So very thick air will have a higher concentration of oxygen. Air at sea level has more oxygen in it than air on the top of a mountain, which is why people, when they climb Mount Everest, have to bring air with them because the oxygen concentration is much lower and our body needs a certain amount to be healthy. We can also talk about the salt concentration. The salt concentration in the ocean will be higher than it is in other parts of the world, but if you go to the Dead Sea, the saltiest body of water, which is not an ocean, it's a lake in Israel, it has a very high salt concentration. We often measure this as percentage, right? Out of 100. How much out of 100? For example, the soup has a low salt concentration. So in one bowl of soup, of this special soup, there'll be less salt than in a similar bowl of more normal soup. So that's good for people who can't eat salt.
Yep. It's very important for them to kind of measure their meal that way.
Exactly right.
All right, continuing on. unlike the other two types, meaning white chocolate and milk chocolate, it has little to no milk solids.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of like white chocolate's evil twin.
Okay.
Or good twin,
It's a
depending on...
mirror image.
Yeah.
Okay.
The combination of high cocoa and low milk levels gives it a delightfully bitter taste and a rich color. So maybe if you're into coffee,
Oh, yeah.
maybe you might gravitate towards a dark chocolate.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, okay. And we have this word delightfully. And it just means something in a way that makes you feel happy or nice. So, for example, the weather is delightfully cool today.
Okay, cool in a good way, not in a, oh my gosh, it's so cold.
Exactly. You're enjoying it.
Refreshing.
Yes. And you know who's very delightfully happy all the time?
I'm gonna guess Hanny?
It is indeed Hanny.
All right.
最后是黑巧克力，它的可可固形物含量极高，超过35%。那它几乎不含或是完全不含奶固形物。高可可含量跟低乳质成分，它的组合呢，就赋予它令人回味的苦味，还有浓郁的色泽。来看单字 concentration， 它可以表达浓度的意思。Mike 老师在解释单字时提到 measurement 是指测量或测量结果。再来 delightfully 这个副词表示令人愉悦的、令人愉快的。那我们接回课文中。
Okay, we are back. That's all the time we have for today, but I feel like we've taken a good first step into the world of chocolate, understanding the three common kinds of chocolate. And we know how they're made, what the differences are, and how sweet you might expect them to be because of, you know, what they consist of. Although we did mention that we're going to also talk about some of the health benefits of chocolate, and we haven't really gotten to that yet.
You know what, Mike?
What's
I
that?
loved this episode.
It's pretty good, right?
I'm so glad there's a part
I think
two.
we should sample more chocolate, though.
We would not be doing our job,
That's true.
you know, correctly.
We're committed to science. We will test the science on our bodies. And if it means eating chocolate, well,
I'm willing to make that sacrifice
we'll
if you
have
are.
to do it.
We'll have to.
We're professionals.
Okay.
So come back tomorrow.
We'll do this for you.
We promise.
We promise.
Whether dark, milk, or white, chocolate in all its many varieties is enjoyed around the world. But have you ever wondered what differences really exist between these types? The short answer lies in the ingredients. The ingredients can change the taste and appearance of chocolate. They can even have different effects on your body. Starting with the type with the lowest cocoa content, white chocolate contains cocoa butter, but no cocoa solids. The lack of cocoa solids is what gives the chocolate its white color, and the butter gives it a creamy texture. White chocolate usually has a combination of vanilla, sugar, milk, and a few other ingredients. Next, milk chocolate consists of at least 10% cocoa solids, as well as cocoa butter, sugar, and milk. Milk chocolate is popular for having the perfect level of sweetness, and it's the color we normally associate with chocolate. Finally, dark chocolate has many of the same ingredients as the other two types, but the biggest difference is the high cocoa solids concentration of over 35%. Unlike the other two types, it has little to no milk solids. The combination of high cocoa and low milk levels gives it a delightfully bitter taste and a rich color.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 variety 名词，表示种类、品种、变化、多样化。content 名词，表示含量、内容或内容物。consist 动词，表示由什么组成，包含什么什么。concentration 名词，表示浓度。那么 delightfully 这个副词表示令人愉悦的、令人愉快的。文法的部分，第一个学到 what 当复合关系代名词，它所引导的名词子句可以当主词、受词或补语用。再来学到了 as well as 的用法，它可以当介系词，后面接名词或动名词，去表达除了点点点之外还怎么样。它也可以当连接词，来连接词性相同的字词，表达说以及还有什么什么。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Hey, 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 it's KiWi on the street.
I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. We humans eat a lot of different things. Fruits, vegetables, meat, even snacks.
But what about animals? Today we're at the zoo. We're going to learn about what animals eat. Herbivores are animals that eat plants, which means they munch on fruits, eat leaves, and vegetables, just like the Formosan sika deer.
Carnivores eat mainly meat, so they hunt or eat other animals as their food, just like my friend, the otter.
Omnivores are animals that eat plants and meat. Their diet is varied. They can eat vegetables, fruits, and other animals. The Formosan wild boar, that's an omnivore.
So now you know all the different diets of animals. We've got herbivores, we've got carnivores, some who eat both, the omnivores.
So what type of diet do you follow?
Well, that's all we have for today. Remember to follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or an email if there's something you want to say in English but you don't know how. Kiki, do you have anything you want to say?
Well, time for me to be a chocolativore. Eat chocolates. Okay, Kiwi later.